Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be doing a bit of a power half hour. Last month I did a power hour video and you guys loved it, so I am going to be doing a deep clean of the bathroom. We go on holiday and it's something I always like to do before we go away, which is give the bathroom a really good clean, make sure everything's stocked up, all the empties are out, and just basically give it a really good scrub. So I am going to film it and show you exactly what I do and what products I use. If you like these kind of videos, please stick around and hit subscribe and keep watching. I like to try and remove as much of the clutter from the bathroom as I can. So I take Charlie's baby bath out and I pop that aside. I'll give that a clean later separately because it does need a clean out. And then I'll also take the kids' little toy here. It makes foam ice cream cones and they absolutely love it. But I need to take that out because it's suctioned onto the shower screen and behind that is really grubby and that needs a good clean. So I take all of that kind of stuff out. And I also remove the plug from the shower as well. And I know this looks completely gross, but honestly my hair is falling out so badly just now because I've just not long had Charlie. Well, I've had him 6 months ago, but my hair is still falling out really badly. And then that teamed with Fraser's hair product that comes out, it gets so grubby after just a couple of days of not being cleaned. So that really needs a good clear out. I like to just spray that with some of the antibacterial spray that I'm showing you here and leave that to work in while I go on with doing another job. Next I move on to just looking at my shower and I use this Astonish mold and mildew remover. I absolutely swear by this stuff, it is so good. It smells really heavy of chemicals, so that is my only complaint and criticism. But yeah, I use my Astonish spray in the shower. I also like to just try and declutter anything that's just sitting in the shower. So I've got a used razor there and also some face wash, and literally I just spray this mold and mildew remover everywhere, like absolutely all over the shower enclosure. It's so good, it literally takes any of those black mold marks away. So I've got quite a few of them down the bottom corners of the shower and I let that work in while I go on with another task. But any of these marks you see, like sort of soap scum or just lime scale kind of marks, it takes every single one of them away. It is so good. It's one of my hero products. And in the same way that I let the mold and mildew remover work in, I do the same with the toilet. So I bleach the toilet using just some Domestos bleach and let that work in. I'll also spray some Cif in as well. It's a Cif Actifizz and I let that work in on the actual toilet pan and the seat and all round about the bottom of the toilet. I'm going to move our toilet roll out the road because I don't want that getting any of the product on it. But yeah, I like to just spray all around the bottom of the toilet, and then I'm just going to spray the top of the toilet and also the top of my sink as well. While all of that is working in, I'm going to go through my little drawers here and see if I've got any empties, and if I have, I'm going to recycle them and make sure that any razors that have been used also get disposed of as well, just to freshen everything up. Because I absolutely cannot stand clutter in the bathroom, I bought this dispenser from Amazon and it dispenses my shampoo, conditioner and body wash. It's so good. I literally just fill this up all the time, and plus it lets me know when I'm running out of product as well, so it's a really handy way to save space, and it also looks quite cool I think as well. Loads of people always ask me where I buy it from. It wasn't expensive, I will link it in the description box. Yeah, this is a really good space saving tip. I would highly recommend one, and it's lasted for so long. It's only on with little sticky pads, but yeah, it lasts for ages, and we've had that up for about 4 years now and it never ever gets old. I'm just going to top up my little hand wash as well to make sure I've got plenty of that in stock. If any of you guys watched my Poundland haul, you will know that I bought that little dispenser from there. And now on to the dreaded plug hole. Oh my goodness. This thing absolutely captures every single bit of hair, which is good because it means it's not clogging up the drain, but it is an absolute nightmare to clean and I do not enjoy this part whatsoever. What I would say though is I use a little toothbrush. It's an old toothbrush and we do have it in the cleaning cupboard, and that with some Cif Power Cream really makes a difference. I literally just put all that Cif Power Cream all the way around the plug hole and work it in using the brush, and then just using lots of blasts of hot water, try and get all the grime out. It's really, again, not my favourite task, but it has to be done, and we do this every single week and it never gets any easier. Like I said, it's a build up of my hair falling out, plus Fraser's wax from his hair, and then any other products that we're using are obviously clogging it up, so it's a bit of a nightmare. But once it's done, it's a job well done and it does make such a difference. I do love the Cif Power Cream because it really gets into all the nitty gritty. It's got sort of little microparticles in it, so it really lifts all the dirt out from all of the grout and round about your taps and round about the sink. It's really good for all those kind of stubborn messes like toothpaste and things like that. And it is a bit of a military procedure around the tap here because I do like to use this little toothbrush. It just makes my job so much easier to get into those spaces. Plus the space behind the tap and then the wall is actually too tight for me to properly get my hand round and give it a good clean. So it's really easy just to use a brush instead. I always use this blue microfiber cloth for cleaning the bathroom just so that I don't get it mixed up with the ones I use downstairs or in the kitchen. And then I'm just going to use an antibacterial spray to spray down the whole sink and then just wipe it all up and polish up using my microfiber cloth. The next one is a big job, and I don't do this all the time, but when I do it, I notice such a difference, and that is washing down all the walls and every single tile that is in the bathroom, just using some antibacterial spray and a little microfiber cloth. I just give everywhere a general dusting over and make sure that there's no marks. It really doesn't take that long to do it anyway, so I maybe should start doing it more often. Behind the taps is always a messy area, just with obviously the kids washing their hands and splashing, and also toothpaste marks and different things like that, so I always try and make sure I do get that bit behind there. I always wash the tiles behind the sink, but we're going to go all the way around the bathroom, getting every single tile and make sure that it's gleaming and nice and fresh and shiny, and that also includes inside the shower. So I'm going to use the Sif Actifizz and go over everything in the shower. When I've gone in here, I can actually see already that the mould and mildew remover has worked because all those little black spores and the kind of grimy marks are all away. So I'm just going to go over it with the Sif Actifizz and use my microfiber cloth just to wipe everything down and make sure that it's nice and clean. And the next thing to tackle is something I also don't enjoy doing, which is the actual glass of the shower enclosure. I got this little contraption here from Poundland, and it's actually really good. You basically put all of your product in the spray bottle. You can spray your shower or any of the surfaces that you're using. I think you could probably use this in your windows outside or inside as well. And there's a sponge on one side and then a squeegee on the other. So I'm just going to use some of the Sif Power Cream, just simply because it does have those microparticles that'll get all the grease off of my shower enclosure. Then I'm going to use the sponge side to rub all of that in and get all of the grime off. And then obviously once that is done, I will use a squeegee to make sure it's all squeegeed off and nice and dry and clear and nice and shiny again. You know, this job is actually something that I don't particularly like doing, like I already said, but when I'm using this little contraption, it actually makes it a little bit more enjoyable. I feel as if I am a window cleaner, and it's quite therapeutic in some ways as well, because I can see the difference it's making as well, and that does make such a difference when you are doing this kind of cleaning job. Although I did do a really good job in getting that nice and clear simply by using that squeegee and sponge, I do like to go over everything with just some kitchen roll and also some white vinegar spray, because it really does take everything to the next level and make it really shiny. And plus it also dries off any of those little damp marks, because there's nothing worse than spending all your time cleaning it and then you go back later and all of the little watermarks have dried in and made clean marks on your glass. So I like to just do this as a simple step to make it a little bit better. And then after I've done this, no one is allowed to use the shower. I then just take this white vinegar spray and do the outside as well. It's always double the work when you've got a shower enclosure to do. I also like to make sure that all of the outside of the tray is really clean. We have a little ledge that seems to gather so much dust and dirt, so I just use some antibacterial spray just to make sure it's really clean first, and then also some white vinegar spray just to make sure that the silver parts and the chrome parts are really shiny. Just using some kitchen roll, I like to dry that off and make sure that all of the dust and the grime is all away, and again that really brightens things up and makes such a difference. Next, I just like to take that little microfiber cloth and go over all of my shower handle just to make sure there are no bits of limescale or dirt or anything like that. And I also take it along the hose of the shower as well, because that does have a build-up of product too. And just as another simple step, I like to try and dry everything off again so that it's nice and shiny and we don't have any watermarks on anything. And the last step in the shower would just be to make sure that the actual shower tray itself that you stand on is nice and clean and shiny, but just using my antibacterial spray, I'm just giving that a quick once over. And then I'm also going to replace the plug back in the hole, and that is the shower basically complete. The next thing to do would just be go over surfaces, so I like to make sure that my little drawer set has not got any dust on it, and then replace all of the kind of ornaments that I have on it. And the next thing would be to go over a radiator just using white vinegar spray and make sure that there are no splash marks for when people have been going to get a towel to dry their hands. I always like to colour my toilet water because I just think, what is the point in cleaning the bathroom and then not doing this simple step? And next it's on to cleaning the toilet, which I literally just take the toilet pan off. This is such a good way to clean your bathroom because ours just removes on its own. And then just give everywhere a really good clean and a wipe. I use a separate cloth for this, as you will see. I have switched over to a green cloth. Next I will just give everywhere a quick spray with my Dettol surface spray and replace the towel in the bathroom. And the last step really is just to make sure that the floor is clean. I always do this last because I'm walking about on it, so what would be the point in doing it before then? So I like to just use these huge floor wipes from Poundland, some white vinegar spray or antibacterial spray. We don't have a big bathroom, so using a mop is really no point. That is our bathroom done, nice and clean, and we are ready to go on holiday. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching my power half hour. My bathroom feels nice and clean now, and I am ready to go off on holiday and come back and it'll be left the same way. It's probably the only time that I will ever leave my bathroom for like 4 or 5 days, and it will actually look the same when I come back, apart from a bit of dust, but we can cope with that. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, leave a comment and tell me what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye!